Hello, I'm John RedEagle Bailey, obviously because you're on my page or on an associate's page, which this will be posted on. So anyway, this morning I'm sitting here having my morning coffee, and my good friend Max calls me up and says, "Hey, I got a challenge for you." And I said, "Okay, I'm listening." And she says, "I want you to come up with a thought for the day for the next 90 days. And we're going to call it Life According to RedEagle." Well, that sounded pretty cool, so who am I to argue with that, right? So first I want to say that Life According to RedEagle is going to be from everything that I've been taught and experienced from, my masters, my mentors, spirit guides, so on and so forth, but also through life experience and everything up to the moment in which I record the thought for the day. I'm going to try to make it early so that it gives you something to think about. But we'll see how it works out, because you're going to see me in various stages of my life, whether it's at work, whether I'm at home like today, whether I'm on vacation, or whether I'm doing an event, because I have some that are scheduled. Sometime, I think it's in whenever the eclipse is coming, I'm going to an event for that. I'm just going to go and hang out and have some fun. So I have my thoughts from that. So it's going to be kind of neat. It's going to be an intermix of stuff. So the neat thing about these live feeds are that you're not expecting this, and you're going to be able to go back and see it later anyway. So, once again, and this is the only time I'm going to do this, so you're always going to have to refer back to this first video. I'm going to explain who I am. Thanks, Pico. That's the bird. He likes to get involved. I'm a psychic holistic healer, and I'm a master of shadows and energy. If you want to know what that is, I'll let you know another time. And I always end my videos in Dare to Dream. Allow yourself to become who you want to be. And dream big or go home. You know what I mean? So, my services and what I do is that I do psychic readings. And I'm a psychic. I'm not a medium. A medium is somebody who connects with the other side, with your relatives, and spirit guides and so on and so forth. Sometimes that'll happen, but that's not something that I'm proficient at yet, nor do I put that in the forefront of what I do. But the psychic readings also include your energy body, and that leads into the second part, is energy healing. And this can be for the conscious and subconscious as well. It leads to past lives, in which I also do past life regression and things like that. And I'm a spiritual advisor. The reason I call myself a spiritual advisor is because people like Max are life coaches, and they can give you some great advice in how to work through certain things in your life. And I can too. But it's more on a spiritual avenue. And that's one of the things that Max and I were talking about this morning briefly, was that, and this is the reason for this 90-day challenge, is because we live this stuff. When you go to a class or a seminar or something in that line, if you're not taking down notes, you're only going to retain 15 to 20% of the information that you take in. And when you leave that place, you're going to be feeling good and everything's great and all this other stuff, but then you're not going to incorporate it in your life. It's not going to be a part of your mindful thinking on a daily basis. And that is your free will choice. But that is the problem with a lot of people that don't come into the mindset of, it's sort of like, if you're going to be a pianist, for example, you're going to go and start taking classes locally. But if you're really passionate about it, you're going to want to seek out the truth and pay whatever it costs in order to get that training to become the best that you can possibly be. And that's the type of thing that like Max and Angie and I and some of our other friends, Barry Bing, have all incorporated into our lives. Sue Davy, another friend of mine who's the psychic sage in England, we all do the same thing, and that's what makes us unique. But the thought for the day. Okay, now I explained all that. So now from now on, we're just going to go into the thought for the day, and these videos, can last however long it's supposed to last, because every time that we do something, we connect to our higher selves and just roll with it. Nothing is scripted, and that's what another thing I wanted to add was that I can't stand things that are scripted to work on people's emotions and pull them in, to make them spend their money, their hard-earned money, to make them believe that, life's a bed of roses and all this other stuff. That's where the shadow master comes in, is because I'm here to tell you that there are certain parts of your life that you have to face before any of that can happen, along with the releasing. We'll get into that to another time. But today, my challenge to you, to really put forth this thought, to feed. I'm going to tell you what FEED stands for. FEED is to face the ego experience daily. Whenever you wake up in the morning, we have to understand that in this physical reality, a part of our life is our ego. I had a very good mentor of mine who's no longer with us that explained to me in the very beginning was that, and it showed his humbleness and his vulnerability, and I've taken that on in my own life, is that when I wake up in the morning, if I feel that there's a problem with ego in the way that I'm thinking, I got to face it. What's that belief system or thought or whatever else it is that's affecting me in the beginning of that day? How's it going to set the tone for the day? And there are days I will have to admit that I have to fight ego all frickin' day. And then there's other days I have a handle on it because of my meditations and grounding procedures that I do every day, practices that make it easier. Or I just get up and I'm in another world because I went to bed grateful. I made a list of things that are grateful. And sometimes one of the best ways to deflect ego is to do exactly that. Make a list of the things, just a mental list when you wake up and you're having your morning coffee or tea, and you're saying, what am I grateful for? Well, I don't really care for my job, but it's pretty cool because the job gives me the clothes that I wear, and it gives me the car to get to work, and it affords me this, and this. And you make your own list. That's the most important thing. So I think myself that if we're willing to understand that the ego is just the opposite, because the ego is fight or flight, and that's what really fucks us up, to be completely honest. So if we go from the ego side and admit and acknowledge it, that it exists, but then also balance it with forgiveness and love and empathy and compassion, and literally change our mind in that our thoughts and beliefs, and be aware of it in order to gain that wisdom and knowledge and understanding through enlightenment. But you have to do all this to become awakened. Once you become awakened, I'll be honest with you, that's when life gets hard, because when you're walking around asleep and you're just one of these walking dead kind of people, and you're not awakened, life is simple, and who gives a shit? You know, you're a psychopath because you have no feeling or condition over anything. Now, on the flip side of that, I've had people tell me, well, I'm a caring soul and I love people and all this other stuff, but you know what? I can't stand my ex-husband. He's a son of a bitch, you know, or this or that, you know, or that woman at work is she's an ass, you know, she's constantly causing drama and trouble and all this other stuff. Okay, so listen to those thoughts. What you're thinking is what you're putting out. You want to know where you're going to be in the next 5 years? Look at the people you're hanging out with, and then also look at the thoughts that you're thinking. So, the thing about, and that's part of the ego, okay? So, as you're thinking about these things, that's when you really want to go in and say, how can I face the ego experience daily and keep it under control? That's the most important thing. Just that mindset itself and being aware of it daily, all day long, is what's going to make you different and set you apart from everyone else. And once you start to awaken to that and realize that you have to open yourself up to be more forgiving, to be more compassionate and empathetic towards others, that's when things are going to change in your life and become more positive. When you realize that everyone, because judging is something that we as humans do on initial sight of another person. You see someone who is collecting garbage, or you see a homeless person, automatically you think, I'm in a better place than they are. I'm better than they are. But you're not. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in the Native American culture, we believe that all human life, all animal life, all life that exists has equal value. No one, that's why the circle is so important, because we are all joined together and it is complete in itself. And it's sort of like the link of a chain. You take one link out, it's broken. And then it's no longer a circle. It's not a complete circle of energy. It's not a complete circle of connection. It's not a complete circle of love and compassion. And that's where you want to be. So, I'm going to end on this note. Not only to dare to dream, but remember, make it a conscious effort of conscious thought to feed yourself every single day. Number one priority for the next 30 days, I challenge you, is to face your ego experience daily. And when you find it getting out of hand and out of balance, bring it back into check. That's how you do it. And if you have to do it all frickin' day long, then guess what? That's what you're doing all day long. Don't let anything else interfere, because this is going to help you grow. All right? So look, thanks for watching. I love you. Dare to dream. Dream big. And have a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow.